Hi everyone, this is a tutorial to demonstrate the applied folded stockinette edging. I've already worked this edging here. I'll just bring it closer for you to see. It has a similar look from any kind of distance away to an I-cord edge, but it's actually worked slightly differently. And I find that this option creates a really great, very kind of sleek and simple edging, which stops the stockinette fabric from rolling better than the I-cord edge does in my experience. So that's what it looks like when you finished it. I'm going to show you how to work that now. So I'm going to be adding this edging to the sleeve here to match the neckline that I've already done. So stockinette fabric naturally wants to roll. Knit stitches all have a slight tendency to want to lean in this direction, and the combination of lots of rows of knit stitches creates this rolling edge of fabric. So what we're going to be doing here is adding some more stockinette to the edge of this, which you might think sounds like that's not really going to help because it's all going to keep rolling. But what you actually do with this edging is you work it into the wrong side of the fabric, and what that means is you've got all this stockinette which wants to roll in this direction, and then you add in fabric that's rolling in the opposite direction, which counteracts the kind of the desire for this fabric to roll over on itself. And as you can see from the bit I've already worked here, it does work extremely well once it's been blocked. One thing just to mention is I found before I'd blocked this, I was concerned that it wasn't going to kind of work well enough, but actually the blocking does make a big difference with this. You can see the same thing on the waistband here, and there's no rolling happening at all. It's sitting so nice and flat. So yeah, it's a new favorite edging of mine, I think. Okay, so you're working on the wrong side here, and in this particular pattern, we are picking up in the last row of the contrast color stitches, which is this navy blue color. So I'm looking to pick up into the middle of this stitch here, but you're going to work, as I said, into the wrong side. So what you're doing is looking to bring your needle, from the wrong side through to the right side in the middle of those contrast color stitches, and you're just going to pick up and knit the number of stitches that are required. Here I'm picking up and knitting every stitch. Elsewhere in the pattern I direct you to pick up and knit maybe 4 in every 5 stitches or something like that. So just follow the directions that are given in the pattern. So you can see I'm working on the wrong side, and I'm going to pick up all the way around until I have all the stitches that I need picked up. Okay, so I've picked up all the stitches I need around this edge. Now I'm picking up 1 stitch before the bound off edge, and then I'm going to work 5 rounds of stockinette before joining, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. A couple of things to mention. One is, at this point, if you wanted to work this edging flat, you absolutely can. You'd turn to what is the right side of the rest of your work, and you'd purl that row, then you turn back and knit the next one, purl the 3rd, knit the 4th, purl the 5th, and then you'd be ready to do the same bind off as I'm going to do in a moment. But if you're working in the round, as I am here, you'll work 5 rounds just knitting, just in stockinette on this wrong side. The other thing to mention is if you wanted it to be a thicker border than the one I'm working here, I'm only working 5 rounds of stockinette here. You could pick up your stitches further back from the bind off edge and work a higher number of rounds to create sort of a thicker, a deeper edge if you wanted to. But I'm going to work my 5 rounds of stockinette knit stitches now, and then I'm going to show you how this edging is finished off. Okay, so I've worked my 5 rounds of stockinette on the wrong side here, and what we're going to be doing now is working a bind off using a crochet hook. And you want to use a crochet hook that is smaller than the size of needle that you've been working with. What you're going to do is insert the crochet hook into the row where you picked up your stitches, so into that same row where you did the pick up and knit in the first place. And then with the first stitch that's on the left needle, you're going to almost work essentially like a knit stitch, but onto the crochet hook. So you're going to knit one to transfer that stitch onto the crochet hook. And then you pull that stitch back through to the wrong side of your work. And then you're going to repeat the same thing with the second stitch, which is now the next stitch on your left needle. So you'll go in through the picked up edge, knit that stitch from the left needle onto the crochet hook, and then again pull that stitch through to the wrong side. And then once you've got 2 stitches on your crochet hook, as I have here, you're going to pull that second stitch through the first one, and that essentially binds off one of those stitches. I'll show you that one more time. So you're going to knit 1 stitch from the left needle using the crochet hook, pull that stitch through to the wrong side, and then pull that 1 stitch through the other stitch on the crochet hook so that you bind off 1 stitch. And you're just going to keep repeating that process all the way along your stitches until all of them are bound off. Okay, so I have finished working that bind off edge, and I will be cutting the yarn and securing the final stitch in a moment. The thread that you started your pickup with can also be moved to the wrong side and woven in. And that's the edge finished. As I mentioned before, I think you see the best results with this once it's been wet blocked, although you can already see this edge is not curling in the way that it was before, but wet blocking definitely does make a difference to it. Okay, so that is the applied folded stockinette edging. Hope it helps.